Hello fellow nerds and book lovers. Welcome to Ridcully's book review. I'm Ridcully. Hope you're enjoying this Labor Day weekend. It's a beautiful weekend. Hopefully enjoying margaritas. It's 97 degrees outside, so you can keep your pumpkin spice away from the margaritas still. All of you that are getting ready for Halloween and fall, which I guess to be perfectly honest, is me too, but it's still margarita season. So go out and enjoy it this weekend. Today we've got a really fun book. We're going to go through The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is one of the books on my top 10 list. It's one of the books that should be on everybody's top 10 list, in my opinion. Awesome, awesome book. I believe it came out in 1989, so it's a rather new book. Douglas Adams has passed away at an extremely young age. So, unfortunately, the Douglas Adams books that are available are few, but the quality is astounding. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is probably the most famous. It's the first in the Hitchhiker's series. You have the benefit if you listen to it on audiobook form. On Audible, you have the option to listen to it by Stephen Fry, who does an excellent job. Excellent narration of the book. There is a copy out there. I have a copy of it on DVD, CD. It's old. Where Douglas Adams himself actually read the book. If you get a chance to listen to it, it's just really cool to have the actual author read his own book. And he does a really good job. Let me give you a quick synopsis of the book. Alien invasion. It starts out with a gentleman in England, and his house is about to be destroyed. Comic setup, he goes out and he lays in front of the bulldozers. He's been told that he should have went down and made his appeal months before the orders and the decisions were made, way before, and he's too late to make any complaint. These decisions and these plans were locked in a basement with no stairs, at the bottom of the planning building, and nobody ever knew about them until the bulldozers showed up. And there's another gentleman, another main character, Prefect, who turns out is an alien that's hitchhiking across the galaxy, and he has this ebook, dun dun dun, called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So there's your setup, the first initial setup of the book. Aliens show up to destroy the planet. We try and contact the aliens, and the aliens tell us, as a planet, these plans have been in Alpha Centauri for a few years now. You should have complained then. So he sets up the comparison between Arthur Dent's house being bulldozed and the entire Earth being destroyed on a galactic level, and the injustice comic way. The invaders, the aliens coming, are Vogons. Now that's the initial setup of the book. That's where it starts. And so the rest of the book is the explanation of, what happens to Arthur, what happens to Ford, what part of the Vogons play, what happens to the Earth, the adventures they have. It's one of the most clever, it's dry humor, cynical, black humor. Excellent book. I'm going to give the spoiler alert at this point. I've already given a few of the details, but that was just the initial setup. From this point on, I'm going to go into some of the details and give a quick synopsis of the entire book. So if you want to read the book and you haven't yet, turn off the video now, read it, and then come back and we'll discuss it together. Let me see if I can give a really quick one-paragraph summation of the book. Alien hiding here on Earth. Ford Prefect. Arthur Dent, house about to be destroyed, saved by Ford Prefect, and shot up into the Vogon fleet that has came to destroy the Earth. Vogon's fleet destroys the Earth. Vogon fleet finds hitchhikers, kicks them out into space. The Heart of Gold picks them up. That has been stolen by the president of the galaxy, Xiphoid Beetlebrox, and his girlfriend Trillian. Turns out that Trillian and Xiphoid was at a party with Arthur Dent a few months before. Xiphoid had blocked Arthur, stolen Trillian away. They used the Heart of Gold, this new spaceship, with the infinite improbability drive to go to the Horsehead Nebula and find Magrathea. Magrathea, they find out, that the Earth was created to find the ultimate question, that the computer Deep Thought had found the answer to be 42. They run away and get away from the planet, so they head to the restaurant at the end of the universe. So there's a quick summation of the plot of the book. Okay, now that was about as concise and concentrated storyline plot as I could put without going, I might have already went so far that it doesn't make sense by cutting it down too much. Of course, there's so much more of the book and so many details that I left out, and all of the best parts when you cut down the plot and try and explain it in something that short. So let's go back to the start, and we'll go back through and we'll talk a little bit about what the story was and flush it out a little bit better for the rest of the video. So after the Vogon show up, they do actually destroy the planet. But Ford Prefect has been able to shoot up to the Vogon fleet because the cooks that the Vogons have hired like to irritate the Vogons, and one of the things that irritates them most in the world is picking up hitchhikers. So using the Hitchhiker's Guide and his skills, he's able to be picked up covertly by the Vogon fleet. But the Vogon fleet finds him out and throws him out an airlock. Right before they're about to die, depressurized in space, a ship shows up called the Heart of Gold and saves them. Well, the other storyline is you have Xiphoid Beetlebrox, the president of the galaxy. And he has stolen the Heart of Gold, the new spaceship that works on the infinite improbability drive. So somehow all you have to do is give this drive a cup of tea and tell it the most improbable, I'm not really sure how it works, but it uses improbability. So it has to have infinite improbability to work. And when it does have infinite probability to work, it goes anywhere in the galaxy for now, maybe the universe, and possibly in time. But anyway, so the book sets up why not only do the conveniences happen through the book, they have to happen for the infinite improbability drive to function. So clever plot, funny plot. Xiphoid Beetlebrox and Trillian steal the ship, pick up Arthur and Ford, and it turns out that Xiphoid and Trillian had been on a party on Earth a few months before, and Arthur had met him at the party, had tried to hit on Trillian, and Xiphoid Beetlebrox had blocked him and stole her away from the party. So these absolutely insane, improbable causations, scenarios happening are because of the infinite improbability drive. And it sets it up so you can do the most ludicrous things, and he does, and it's hilarious how they work out. Well, it turns out that Xiphoid, the Beetlebrox, doesn't know why he's doing most of the things he does. And he does a medical scan, and he finds out that there's a part of his brain that's sealed off, well, part of both of his brains, he's got two heads, is sealed off from the rest of his mind. And it's kind of guiding him in life on what to do. But if he told him what he was doing, he wouldn't do it or wouldn't be able to do it. And he is the one, he's initialed that part of the brain with his own initials that's sealed off. So they take the Heart of Gold and they're going to the Horsehead Nebula to find Magrathea, the fabled planet-making planet. The galactic economics had a galaxy-wide crash, and so it's in hibernation until the galaxy has enough money to start ordering custom-made planets again. And they get there, and Trillian has brought her pet mice. Well, it turns out that the smartest creatures on the planet were dolphins and mice before humans. And the mice have secretly been manipulating humans through all of scientific history, all 10 million years worth of history. And we get the backstory that a race in another dimension has asked the question to life, the universe, and everything. And they built Deep Thought, most powerful computer ever in existence to answer this question. They turn him on, and he says, I'm the second most powerful. And they're like, what? Well, what are you talking about? You were supposed to be the most powerful. So you can answer this question. He's like, I'm the second most powerful. I'm going to help you create the most powerful. But the answer to your question for life, the universe, and everything is 42. Now I'm going to take a side note. There's an urban legend out there that 42 in programming language basically means a holding position that means anything you want it to be. And there's an urban legend that Douglas Adams, the answer to the life, the universe, and everything is anything that you want it to be. I'm not sure if that's an urban legend or if that's true. If somebody knows, please message me down below and tell me, is that real? Is there anything to that? I've always thought that was a really cool concept, but that's a side note. Anyway, back to the story. Deep Thought tells them the answer is 42, and they're like, what does that mean? 42? He's like, you wanted the answer. What you really need is the correct question. How do we get that? Here's where the computer comes in that I was telling you about. And it turns out that the computer that he's talking about is the Earth. All the organic life and life on Earth and everything, the whole Earth is this supercomputer that's finding the ultimate question, that the answer is 42. But right before, 5 minutes before the Earth was supposed to have finally calculated the ultimate question, Vogon's destroyed it. So the mice are wanting to kill Arthur because he was there right 5 minutes before the end, so the answer should be somewhere subconsciously in his mind. They want to take his mind, throw it in a blender, and somehow scan it and get the answer out, so they don't have to create another Earth. Well, Arthur and Ford and Trillian are trying to get away, and all the alarms on the planet go off. It turns out that because Xiphoid had stole the Heart of Gold, all the police in the galaxy are after him, and at least one ship has found him. They're in the Horsehead Nebula on Magrathea. And these two police officers are chasing him, and they're shooting him and blasting at him. And they have this conversation with him, which was hilarious. And they're saying, we don't like shooting at you guys. And he's like, well, then stop. He's like, we are compassionate liberal cops. We're sensitive and we don't want to be doing this. Well, then don't do it. He's like, well, we kind of have to. And they keep shooting at him. He does it much better, of course, but it just struck me. It was hilarious. And all of a sudden, the cops die. And they look out and they're dead. And it turns out that their life support systems have failed. They were methane-breathing creatures. So they run outside and their ship is dead. And they're like, well, what on earth has happened? Well, it turns out that the robot from the Heart of Gold, his name was Marvin. And he's a chronically depressed robot. He's supposed to be 50,000 times smarter than any human. And I don't know if that causes his depression, very well could, or if he was just programmed to be depressed, or it's just something he decided to do. But he had went up and tried to talk to the ship. And in talking to the ship for just less than a second, he caused the ship to become so depressed, it committed suicide, and it killed the two cops' life support systems in their suits when the ship died. So, once again, improbabilities, tongue-in-cheek, black humor, it's hilarious. They get in their ship, and Xiphoid Beetlebarox is like, if whatever I'm looking for, and I'm trying to guide myself into findings on this planet, I don't want it. We're out of here. They get in the ship and they take off. And Xiphoid looks around and he says, is anybody hungry? And they're like, yeah, we can eat. And they're like, let's hit the restaurant at the end of the universe, which is the next book. So tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts and your feelings are about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I do want to leave you with a thought for the day. One of my favorite Abraham Lincoln quotes is, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. Thanks again. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. You guys have a good one. Bye.